There is the United Torah Judaism Party, which controls 7 seats in the Knesset. Then there is the National Religious Party, and my favorite party, the party that is most dedicated to eradicating secularism, is the Noam Party. And this is just like I know Felix jokes all the time about like Israeli political parties called Good Morning, but Noam
Mhm.
translates to pleasantness, the pleasantness party. And it seems like the pleasantness party, their main platform is keeping women out of public spaces and stopping the education of women. And like Josh, this gets to this thing where it's just like to the outside world, or certainly to if you're Palestinian, the differences between any of these political parties make no fucking like it's
Yeah.
nothing. They're all of these parties are dedicated top to bottom into the total subjugation of anyone who happens to not be Jewish within the borders of what they conceive of as Israel. But within Israeli politics itself, it just seems there is like bitter enmity between Jews who want to teach women to read and those who don't. So, like,
Yeah. It's intense.
yeah,
Yeah, they had 5 elections over the course of like 4 years, only a couple years ago. These divisions are like extreme. These guys have like a level of political polarization that can only really be matched by like what happens here in the US. Like they could not form a government for like 4 years straight. Like they had election after election after election. Like there's just insane enmity between these different sides. They view it as like this very existential fight, which like to an extent other than Netanyahu, it's true, but it's like it's really like what fascinates me about it is that they have like like a level of like kind of like tension and like polarization and like enmity that's like Weimar Germany levels, but like the politics is just like a 2004 like Bush v Lieberman election. The differences are very very small, and like they always like all of the non Netanyahu parties are always like really funny. They constantly switch between who their leader is every couple of years. They've really gotten into running like generals recently. They have like an entire party that's just currently the one leading in the polls and is very likely to form the government. I like made like a post about this a couple of weeks ago where I just it's like the Concerned Israelis Association, CIA, where it's just like the deep state party, and this is like the most popular organization in the country right now.
I mean, obviously, like this belies a lot of the liberal Zionist propaganda about what a tolerant and progressive country Israel is, because yeah, there are major political parties that are just purely religious organizations dedicated towards, I don't know, putting gay people in, into a barn or something and spitting on women who show their ankles in public. But there is a weird outlier here in the my one of my favorites of the center right parties, the New Hope Party.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a party whose a former Likud politician is at the head of it, and like their line on this is that they're standing up for propose bills to jail employers who fire pregnant women and to ban cosmetics testing on animals, and they are also proposed to legalize cannabis and amend surrogacy laws that discriminate against LGBTQ couples. So, like,
Yeah,
I mean, they're a real niche here in Israeli politics. The New Hope Party.
yeah, these guys are like I kind of see them as a mass psychological delusion effect, where obviously the main issue in Israeli politics is and has always been Palestine. But during the 2010s, like after they created the Iron Dome, like the kind of perception within the country that they really, really wanted to believe was that this was a settled issue. So like once you have that as a settled issue, they're like, oh, I guess we have to care about normal political stuff now. Like we have to like vote for parties that are focused around economics, and like this is so they started creating those like kind of under the idea like, well, we don't want to talk about Palestine anymore. That's a solved issue. And then like the only stuff that they can like figure out for what their centrist economic policies are supposed to be is like, oh, let's just like make it so you can't like lipstick on monkeys.
Yeah, once Palestine is a settled issue, we can get to real things like legalizing weed, man.
Mm-hmm.
How close are they doing that in Israel? Is Israel a free country yet, where you can smoke in public, or
No,
is it? Yeah.
it isn't. However, Rovember has come to Israel. Abortion is legal there, so they are halfway free.
uh, I'm just going through. Okay, like then there's another one. Always good when you have a Jewish power party. This is the
Mm-hmm.
party that is the successor to Meir Kahan, the American rabbi and terrorist. Jewish power. You can. I like this party because it just makes explicit what every other political party in Israel stands for. They just say it,
Mm-hmm.
which is Jewish supremacy.
Yeah, this is great. I appreciate these guys, not just because they kind of show the true face of what their ideology is, but because they were led by like the most like disgusting looking man in the history of the planet.
Ben Gvir.
Yeah,
He's like a Wojak of himself.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Every picture of him I've ever seen, it's like someone drew him while they were in an argument with him.
Yeah, he's getting like all like the Al Jazeera photo getters like promotions. He's making their jobs really easy.
Every time I see a photo of him talking or giving a speech, he just sort of recalls the image of like a python unhinging its jaws to swallow like a lamb or something.
Yeah, he looks like Arab Peter Griffin.
And
Yeah,
I mean, like you talk about sort of the cultural politics of some of these far right parties, but like I remember seeing a photo of Ben Gvir from years ago where he brought farm animals to a gay pride parade to make the comparison between gay people and goats essentially.
yeah. They started their own counter protest to pride parades called Beast Parades, and they just would parade They would just parade animals through the streets and be like, "This is what you are."
Maybe he was trying to say gay people are the goat.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He said they're going beast mode.